Um, my name is Bridget Moss. I'm Health Director of Red Magazine, and I'm very pleased to be talking to Noel Janis-Norton today. She's the founder of the calmer, easier, happier approach to parenting, and doesn't that sound appealing? She's a learning and behaviour specialist with over 40 years' experience working with children, families and teachers. She's also a mother and grandmother herself. But what we're going to talk about today is her latest book, Calmer, Easier, Happier Boys, which is published by Yellow Kite this February. Hello, Noel.
Hello. I'm delighted to be talking to you. And here is a copy of the book.
Tell us briefly how you came to be doing this sort of work.
Well, it's a long story, but the short version is that I started out as a teacher, and I really didn't know what on earth I was doing. And I observed very effective teachers and learned just by observing. But then the parents of my students said to me, well, you seem to know how to get the kids to do things at school. Can you give me some advice? How can I get them to do what they're supposed to do at home? And at that point, I didn't have any children, so I didn't know what to say. So I said, well, this is what I'm doing at school. You could try it and see if it works. And within days, the parents came back and they said, yes, this works. It's amazing. It's like magic. And that's the point at which I realized that a large part of parenting is really teaching. And so I started giving advice to parents really first at the school gates, and then a few little photocopied sheets, and then some booklets, and then courses and books. That's how it all happened.
So your new book is about boys, and we hear so much negative press in the media about boys. Why do you think that is?
The problem is that, well, one of the problems is that we expect boys to be like girls. And they're not. Boys have specific strengths that are very different from girls. But because most children are being raised by women who once were girls, the mums understand more what it's like to be a girl. And the mums get more annoyed with some of the characteristics of boys, the fidgetiness, the distractibility, the difficulty concentrating. So it's as if they're expecting boys to be girls.
And what do you think it feels like to, I mean, you know, I'm a mum and you're a mum. What does it feel like? Why is it different to be a boy? Does the world feel like it's not, like the school world in particular, does it not fit with how boys are?
Well, that's certainly true, because most teachers are women, and classrooms are expected to be quiet places where the children are either have their eyes glued on the teacher or glued on their work, and that's not what boys are like. Boys are more active, they want to participate, and of course a classroom that has a lot of participation would be good not only for boys but for girls as well. It's just that girls can cope much more easily with the expectations of schools, whereas boys have a much harder time.
So do you think the schools need to change, or do we need to change our attitude to the children at home? Where does this begin, the change?
Well, I think that everybody needs to have more insight into the difference between boys and girls, and everybody needs to do something about it. So I would certainly love to see schools not judging boys as defective girls, which is a quote from a psychologist named Michael Thompson. I didn't make that up. But also, as parents at home, we can help boys develop more mature, sensible habits so that they're not getting into trouble all the time.
And what are your particular strategies? Are there a few things that you can tell us which could help us help our boys?
Yes. One of the strategies, and it's so simple that often people say, oh, well, why didn't I think of this before? It's to start noticing all the times when your son is, in fact, being sensible or calm or quiet or self-reliant or cooperative or considerate. But we tend to take those things for granted. And then we notice and we mention when something goes wrong. So a lot of boys start to think that who they are is a kid who's always getting into trouble. But if we make a point of slowing down our thinking so that we notice and mention the good things, then boys will rise to the challenge and they develop good habits.
And a final word about boys. Should we embrace their boyishness, their energy and life and running around and being distractible?
Now, the sound was breaking up, so I couldn't actually hear what you said.
Should we embrace the fact that our boys are running around and being distractible and being fun and high energy?
Well, when you say embrace, we definitely need to accept it because it's a fact. But accept doesn't mean just resign ourselves to the fact that they're always going to be that way. So we want to give boys plenty of opportunities to be that way, and we also want to give them the benefit of learning in certain situations that it's very important to be calmer or quieter, or to make good eye contact, or to sit and pay attention. They can do both.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Noel, for your wisdom, and I look forward to reading the book.
You're very welcome. Lovely to see you.